system could be bringing us, and how much rain we could be seeing here in the Chattahoochee Valley. We know that from what our Storm Team 9 was telling us earlier, it's going to bring a lot of rain and possible gusty winds. So be expecting that. It is an Alert Center action day. So always just be ready to take action if we need to, depending on what the storm brings. Expecting, again, lots and lots of rain and some occasional gusty wind. Our meteorologist Tyler Allender is here now to join us on the afternoon rundown. Tyler, how are you?
I'm doing well. Yes.
Do it.
Getting close to kind of getting busier, I guess you'd say.
Exactly. And Tyler is our morning meteorologist, so thank you for hanging around with us for the afternoon. We appreciate it. And so Tropical Storm Arthur. Now it's a post-tropical cyclone, right?
Right. Technically, just fancy way of saying it's basically we're just dealing with the remnants now.
Okay.
So it's really it was about 6 or 12 hours yesterday. It's the National Hurricane Center went ahead and pulled the trigger and said, yeah, it's a tropical storm.
Okay.
And, so we're kind of splitting hairs here because the impacts really remain the same. Rain with a name, some wind, and a bit of a severe weather threat. The rain's going to be the main thing. And you'll hear some of the storms too.
Yeah. I was seeing online earlier that Alabama could be expecting around 15 inches. Is that true?
Close to the coast. So
okay, gotcha.
Parts of like Mobile area to Biloxi to New Orleans, there could be some spots that get up to 15 inches of
That's
rain.
crazy.
Yeah, so that's quite a bit.
Is that catastrophic level?
It could be.
Yeah.
It could be in certain areas. So that would not be good. It's funny how just a month or so ago we were begging for rain.
Right.
And here we
now
are.
we have more than we can handle.
Exactly.
So what are we going to be expecting, I guess, throughout the rest of the week, and then, but especially tonight and as we get into these storms?
Yeah, so the showers and storms are going to ramp up. Maybe switch it back to us, and I'll.
Okay.
Oh yeah, and I'll try to back up. I thought I had it on the right graphics here. Let me backtrack. But basically,
always end with the night.
Exactly. Never start with it. Never spoil it. So as I backtrack here, basically we're going to look at the showers and storms kind of increasing. So here's the reason why we have that alert day up. We're going to have flooding in spots, I think. That's going to be the biggest concern. I mean, since Tuesday afternoon, we've had flood watches up for our area for today and into tomorrow, technically. I think it actually goes until Saturday at 2 a.m. I think that's too long, but better to kind of err on the side of caution. So then we kind of look at some gusts of wind that are going to be an issue that could be causing some damaging winds in spots. And then a tornado or two also kind of on the table. We've seen some tornadoes this morning in southeast Mississippi, southwest Alabama. So again, flooding is kind of the main concern. Secondary concern is the wind and the tree damage. But the rain, all the rain and saturated soil could certainly topple down some trees and whatnot. Meteorologist Ashlyn Moore will be in here for the night side shows along with meteorologist Dana Barker. He's going to be coming in to help out. And I'll show you a map that we just made a moment ago. Looking at the winds gusting around 20 to 35 miles per hour. This is even without some of the rain, so don't be surprised if we see that gusts of wind in spots, and then 40 plus when some storms come through. And then tomorrow kind of settles down a little bit, still a little breezy at times. So Dana and I just kind of made this map of where we think the greatest concern is. Keep in mind that the Storm Prediction Center outlook just came out and covered basically our entire area with yellow slight risk. We like to go in and kind of tweak where we think there might be a little greater risk, especially when they just kind of uniformly brush our area if we can. And we think that there's going to be a little bit of a higher risk for a spin-up tornado or maybe even some more flooding or both in, say, Barber County, parts of Clay County, maybe getting into Randolph County. Here's the thing, though, with these systems, there's going to be a cutoff. So someone maybe over to the east or northeast of there may get actually closer to an inch or inch and a half of rain, whereas you go on the other side, it could be 6+ inches of rain. So anyway, it's kind of hard to find the edge sometimes, but this is kind of where we think the greater risk of severe weather would be, including some flooding. Generally, everybody should expect widespread rainfall, Some flooding is possible with that, especially as we head toward dark tonight. And anytime you're talking about flooding, it's dangerous, but especially when it's nighttime. You can't see. You especially can't see at night. A lot of people second guess or say, oh, it's not that deep, but then it really ends up being pretty deep, and that's where you get into problems. But you can't even make any judgment call at night. So again, everybody should plan on widespread rain. As a result, there will be some flooding. Anybody could see an isolated brief tornado. Most will not, but don't be surprised if there's a tornado warning or some in our area. And then those gusty winds, 40 to 60 in some of the strongest storms possible. And then again, a higher threat as you work your way south and west. And the reason why we think this is because the angle it's coming in. I mean, think about it, the storm, the remnants coming from the Gulf. So you kind of think of that, the closer you are to the water, the closer your threat becomes, or the higher your threat becomes.
Yeah.
We see the swirl, basically there's a couple different swirls. One over Mississippi and the Alabama border, the main center of what's left of Arthur, basically closer to the Louisiana and Mississippi border. So there's several little what we call vorticities. That's your word of the day, Justin.
The weather word Thursday, vorticities.
Yeah. Vorticities, yeah. So a little spin there, and that creates kind of extra favorable weather for sometimes a tornado or two. But basically, vorticity is spin in the atmosphere. Sometimes that goes to the ground, sometimes it doesn't. If it does go to the ground, that would make it a tornado. But the bottom line is we're looking at some unsettled weather. It's kind of taking its time, but it's gradually working its way to the east and northeast. So closing in on Montgomery here pretty soon. We're looking at 2 to 5 inches of rainfall. Again, that's kind of the broad brush total that we expect. Some spots are going to get more, especially toward Barber County. We still have the flood watch up for our area. Still have that tornado watch up that only goes to Montgomery until 5 o'clock Central Time. It may be extended into at least parts of the Chattahoochee Valley, especially I think our East Alabama counties a little bit later on. So we're waiting for that. But there's the kind of the leading edge of the steadier, more widespread rain. Still on the other side of Troy, back toward I-65, eventually moving in. We've seen some sun the past few hours trying to poke through in spots.
Yeah.
And that's kind of typical with tropical systems. There's just so much moisture in the air, the wind is moving so fast in the upper levels of the atmosphere, and so it kind of moves the clouds quickly, but in general, it's a lot of rain. You see that here back to the west and southwest of us over Andalusia, and basically Evergreen, Fort Deposit. You go farther to the south and west from there. And Justin mentioned the higher totals maybe on the order of 10 to 15 inches in a few spots closer to the coast. But as we look at our future cast here, see how it kind of ramps up over the next few hours. It's not going to be perfect, but it just shows you how we're still not going to be in the widespread stuff for a while. But don't be surprised if there is a quick storm that pops up, gets a little feisty as we head toward mid-afternoon. Then this is kind of the main thing. We think after 4 o'clock or so, 5, 6, 7, 8 o'clock, the storms become more widespread. It may not look exactly like this. In fact, I know it won't look exactly like this, but we're going to maybe see kind of a line of storms, and if that's the case, certainly gusty winds is the main concern, but just kind of sheets of rain and torrents of rain that will continue through the evening and nighttime hours. And just realize, even if you get this kind of rain for 2 or 3 hours, even if it's not consecutively, if it's over the span of 6 hours, that's a lot of rain, and that's going to be enough to cause standing water and some flooding.
Auburn may see a repeat of what they saw last week with the on the eve of the soccer game.
Exactly. So not necessarily what you want to see.
Right.
But then you get till after midnight. I think some of the heaviest rain starts to slowly backtrack, but it is going to sit over certain areas. So you see like Randolph County and Clay County and Barber County may be in it for longer, again, based on the proximity to the Gulf. Eventually, we head toward morning, still kind of persistent in spots in some of our southern areas. We may get the rain. So that's why, again, we kind of drew those southwestern areas to get a little bit more. But whereas a lot of us tomorrow, most of the day, are probably going to end up being fairly rain-free. I mean, there's still going to be the chance of scattered showers, maybe some again later in the afternoon or evening, but this is going to be what we need to see to get us back to summertime. even Saturday, some storms in the afternoon. But, we're going to gradually get back to that normal weather pattern where storms maybe last an hour or so. So the rest of today through about midnight is still the timeline that we think that we got to be ready. And as you said a few minutes ago, Justin, be ready to take action. That's why we have that Alert Center Action Day. So flooding is the main risk. 2 to 5 inches of rain easily cause flooding that could topple trees. That could be a mess if you're heading home anytime between 5 and 8 o'clock or even a little bit later. The later we get into the night, the more flooding concerns we could have. And then the severe weather, probably pretty isolated, but strong winds and a tornado or two is possible. And don't be surprised if even going to bed tonight you hear the wind still howling. There again is that map that we put out and just drew, showing the impacts from Arthur's remnants. Flooding, isolated tornadoes, the main concern, but also watch for some gusty winds. Again, heavy rain is pretty much a guarantee. It's not often that, not all the time we can pretty much say 90 to 100% chance of rain, but that's tonight. That's certainly by tonight. So here's the 9-day forecast. We're looking at still warm tropical air. I mean, the humidity is sky high out there today. Even though it's not that hot, it is certainly tropical feeling.
Yeah.
And we sort of ease up on the rain chances a little tomorrow and a little bit more so over the weekend, including for Father's Day. But it's not going to be completely rain-free. But we're just getting back to that normal June hit-or-miss storm.
So on the muggy meter, we have the dry, the humid, the sticky, and then the yuck and the oppressive.
Yes.
Are we in that oppressive range today?
Yes. This is about as high as it gets. So I saw some dew points like Americus, 82. It's rarely above 78 or 80 around here. So 82 is that's.
It's like you walk outside and you can't even breathe. It just the air is just heavy.
You get a shower and then you get another shower.
Yeah, exactly.
After that.
Yeah,
So.
You walk outside and immediately break a sweat walking to your car.
Yeah.
All right, Tyler. Well, thank you for the update, and hopefully it's we don't have to take action for a tornado or for extreme flooding or anything. But thank you for, of course, all the making us aware and what could happen. And always important to stay prepared and know what could be coming our way. And but of course
we'll hope for the best.
It's not going to be that bad.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's just going to be some heavy rain.
And I'm sure we'll have more coverage. Obviously right here if warranted, and our team will be following that as we go through the day.
Absolutely. Newsletter 9 at 5:36. Yep. All of our shows on Fox and WLTZ channel 38, and then Newsletter 9 at 7:30, 11.
There you go.
You're not going to be here for that. You're going to be.
I hope not.
But again, Ashlyn Moore and Dana Barker are going to be here from Storm Team 9 to give you the latest and keep you updated and show you what exactly is happening with this storm, and they'll keep you updated as it's moving through. Download that free WTVM weather app as well. It's going to give you the radar, and everything Storm Team 9 is talking about will be on that weather app. And Tyler, I will see you in the morning.
Yes.
Because I am filling in on the anchor desk.
That's right, yeah.
So Newsletter 9 at 5 a.m., 6 a.m., and then noon and midday.
It'll be a little different for you.
Right here. Yeah, a little bit different, but I'm excited though.
Yeah.
I've never anchored the morning before, so it's something new.
Well, good. We'll be glad to have you. See you then.
So hopefully I'll stay awake. I'll bring my coffee. So,
You'll need it.
Thank you very much, Tyler. Here is another look at that 9-day for you. Just be ready to stay prepared tonight, and again, hopefully.